Hello, welcome to the Jekyllhydeclub. Today we're doing an original switch scene on Shark Tank. Do you like my informational voice?
I was just actually thinking that you and I both always talk so fast.
It just sounds somehow so good. Like
I spent time in New York, and Gomez lived in Leningrad, which is, well, St. Petersburg. I just think Leningrad sounds so much cooler, which is like the Russian New York, so we're both always like, fast, fast, fast. Anyway, I'm Morticia, this is Gomez, and this is our roommate, Slappy.
Hello.
Here, Slappy, would you like to arrange yourself here? I'm sorry, dear. Okay. So this is the original Switch Witch as seen on Shark Tank, and what that means is they made a later Switch Witch that kind of has more of an elf on the shelf sort of design, and this one is pretty different. This is the first version. So I'm not sure why they remade it, but this is the first one that you haven't seen probably. And you can still get it on Amazon, and we will leave a link. What this is for is, like, it's a fun Halloween tradition. I like the fact that they're making toys for family fun and enjoyment that you can kind of do with your kids and not just get the kid a toy and go, okay, go play. Like, it's something that you engage with the child, and it's a family thing together, which is really nice. We already reviewed Skeleton in the Closet. It's a different family tradition toy for Halloween, and we can link that below if you haven't seen it. And if you are new, do subscribe and check out our spooky playlists, because we do all different sorts of things. And so let's get with this Switch Witch. Here is her box.
Yes, you can see on the box that she comes in her little cauldron. The cauldron itself has the writing Switch Witch on it. And it appropriately claims that it includes Switch Witch and storybook. And it describes it to be a magical Halloween tradition on this side. On the other side, on the technical side itself instead of the front, it says the original Switch Witch, which the front does not say. And on the back, it is a description of how, I think it's part of the book that maybe we'll look at later, describing what the Switch Witch does briefly. But the slogan here on top says, "Too much candy from trick-or-treating? Wondering where the Halloween family tradition is? Switch Witch is here." And then on the other side we have different colorful schemes over here that might be representative of Halloween. I think some of them are orange, some are black, different shapes that could be pumpkins and other Halloween memorabilia like lollipops maybe, or what do you call them, suckers, or
Same difference, I guess.
yeah, okay. And then at the other bottom of it also features similar colors, so it is perfectly symmetrical from bottom to top. So this is the box for your entertainment.
For your entertainment. Now, I want to say that we are shameless candy addicts, and we will eat tons of Halloween candy from like when it comes out onward, okay? But this is for parents who, for whatever reason, don't want their kids to have a ton of candy, but it's just we collect her because we like witches. But it's just nice to point out for people who do have different views. There are kids who are diabetic or can't have certain candies, or if certain parents are just not really into giving their kids a ton of candy, which, like I said, we are not, but, you know, again, there are other types, and that's fine. Then you can let them have some, or what they can have, and give the rest to Switch Witch for her. They need candy for the energy of the candy to power their brooms and I think heat their houses. So then when you do that, the Switch Witch leaves the kid a toy or something in exchange. So whatever the kid is into that's not candy, you would just leave it a little toy or a gift certificate or whatever, a book, whatever the kid likes, a DVD, something like that as an exchange for the candy, but the Switch Witch does it. It's kind of like the Tooth Fairy of a Halloween, which is kind of funny since candy hurts teeth if you don't brush properly. So, yeah. And we can do a little bit of the book first, and then we will show the Switch Witch, and I'll go over the make of the Switch Witch. I do have a little bit of problem with the way it's made, but it is kind of unique for a witch collection, so I'm keeping it, and we'll go over that in a second. I do think it's cooler a little bit, even though it has less detail than the other Switch Witch, because why are you going to make it like Elf on the Shelf? It's so boring to have everything look alike. So, anyway.
Here we see that the front picture is similar to the one on the box, so it's the Switch Witch in the cauldron.
I do want to state, I don't know the later book, I'm sorry Gomez, I didn't want to forget that this is a paperback and the Skeleton in the Closet book is a hardcover. And I like that because the Skeleton in the Closet book is more 80s-ish, and you know, they were more like hardcovers back then, so.
I like, that's a good point.
Thank you, love.
And here the booklet also describes that it was written by Lara Spirelli and the art is by Nashbox. That's on the front. It also features an interesting picture that seems the color of a sun, but it is shaped as a half moon, which is an interesting paradox, but strange things happen on
Maybe
Halloween.
like a harvest moon.
I like that. And then at the back, it describes it again as a magical Halloween tradition, and it has a cute little spider, and the spider frames a story that says, since long ago and still this year when Halloween is coming near, switch witches cheer, let's go visit, of course to stay with you, my dear. And then it encourages you to let the adventure and magic of a Switch Witch Halloween begin.
And I think this Witch is supposed to stay with you throughout the season like all the other toys to make sure that you're good, because she won't let bad kids switch the candy for toys and stuff. So that's why she comes to visit. And what else was I going to say? Oh, we're showing you this now because, you know, you'll have plenty of time to check out all the different Halloween toys and decide if you want to get them all like we're doing or get certain ones. So that's why we're kind of doing an early preview, and 2 more will be coming up. But you can get this for $14 on Amazon, and there are other sites too, but I just left the Amazon link. So you get a little brief glimpse of the book, and then I will get out the Switch Witch.
So here goes. I showed you what it roughly looks like here. Maybe I'll show another page for the sake of representation. Okay, so here goes. It has nice colors, as Morticia was covering that in relation to Skeleton in the Closet. It's slightly different color scheme. Let's see where. Okay, so this is the last pic.
Mm-hmm. And it has the story that, you know, you enjoy with your kids and kind of like play with them with. So again, I like the family activity concept. Now we're going to the witch herself, which is actually the name of a cool book. Now, first she comes sitting in her little cauldron, which puts me in mind of a Baba Yaga who flies about in her little mortar and pestle. And she's a Russian witch from Russian folklore, and I know this because of Gomez. But the cauldron is a cute little bag. It's all padded, and it's really made well, and it's a cute little black cauldron bag. I love cauldrons, so I love the concept of this. And you can put all the candy that you're giving Switch Witch in here, and then she gets a cauldron full of candy. So, and then you can keep her in here, or you can have her out. But if she's in the cauldron, she looks like this.
Just like on the bookie.
Yes, accurately represented. And you take her out. Now, here's my only problem that I had complaints about at first. Well, I had 2 things I had complaints of, 3, and now I just have 2. Okay, after I thought it over. But it's like $14, and then it's just like a cushion almost that's kind of got a witch shape. You know, it's not really made with complications. It's got this big seam down the side, which I don't see the point of why they couldn't make it better, because here was also stitched, and it's an internal seam. So I don't know if they're all like that or what, but it's like, how do you not see that when you're making it and notice and go, that doesn't look as good? And this is said by a legally blind person, so I'm going, how do you not see that? And when I see this, and I'm not touching it, but that's not the point. The point is, when I'm telling you, you should be seeing it and not, you know, like making it that way. It's you as in the company. So whatever. I don't know what's up with that big funky seam, but we're going to move on. We did comment. Now, otherwise, she seems to be made well. She is sturdy. Now, I didn't like, again, because of my visual issue, but also just because I like the popping 3D detail, that her hair is just kind of painted on, and it's just, it puffs out a little bit here, and that's how you know it from her face if you're just touching it, because the face is more sunken in a little where the hair puffs out. So I know the front from the back by touch, but it's just that it's painted, you know, and the same with the face. And I mean, like, I like the 3D look more, so, and the same with her wand and whatnot on her hand is painted. So it's just like a kind of cushion that's got a witchy shape. You know, the hat doesn't really even have a brim, it's just a shape. So it kind of reminds me of a little mini cushion with a witch shape. And then this is just like her dress. You don't see legs or anything, because again, we go back to the cushion, and she won't stand up on her own. But she looks good in the cauldron, so that's fine. Now, the cons of this design, I've already pointed out, just the kind of painting and the not really fleshed out detail. But the pros for me are, A, she is sturdy. B, this is not as detailed a design, but if they, you know, had to choose between this and then making her almost look like Elf on the Shelf instead of her own self. Oh, that rhymed. I always rhyme without intending to. So, yeah, I think this is better because Elf on the Shelf has already been done. It's just when people think this worked, let me make another one just like it and sell it with a different brand. I don't like that because I'm not going to buy something that I already have another one just like it. Like, I don't get the point, like, of having so many things that look really similar except with a different, like it's a witch instead of an elf, but it's the same design. That's why I don't want too many, like, Funko Pops or something. I mean, they're all going to have the big square head. What's the point? Anyway, all right, we're moving on. We all know my feelings on Pops. All right. But anyway, if you have to choose between a Switch Witch, who's basically a copy of Elf on the Shelf, but a witch, I'd rather have this because this is different. So it's too bad that they decided to cave and go Elf on the Shellfish with it instead of looking unique and keeping it more unique. So that is one of the pros. The other pro is, which I guess you could say the same for the newer version that looks more like Elf on the Shelf too. It's gender neutral. A boy, kid can play with this and not be like accused of playing with dolls or whatever because it's not really girly or fluffy. It's just like a witch cushiony toy, like, you know. So I think that's cool where she isn't made too doll-like or whatnot. So. And then she goes in here, and again, I like her in there. Or like that way, whatever. And it's just a cute little Halloween decoration, and I like witch decorations, so I like her for that, and that's what I got her for. So, yeah, that is pretty much, and she does seem well made, like I said, and the cauldron is cute, and it is a unique idea and a unique design, and I do like it well enough for that. So do you have any other comments, Gomez?
No, I think we covered it.
So there you go. That has been your thorough review of the original Switch Witch as seen on Shark Tank, and until next time,
Stay spooky, my friends.